What's up, everybody? Scoons Nation. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how I increased my vertical jump 6 inches in 6 months. I'm going to give you 3 tips, my three biggest needle movers, and how I increased my vertical jump from literally not being able to touch the rim to dunking a small basketball. And a lot of this stuff is going to help me in the future going from dunking the small ball to dunking consistently with a NBA sized ball. So first things first, and this is the most important thing, I can't stress it enough. If you got extra body fat, fat don't fly. So in the thumbnail you've seen, the famous video, not famous, but my first video before being able to touch the rim, I couldn't touch the rim. I was heavy. I was 240 pounds, or closer probably to 250. And in the last video of my vertical jump progress, I was probably 210, 205. Losing 40 pounds and gave me more speed, more vert, and it corresponded the most, I think, with my vertical jump. I've always been strong. I've always had decent power. I've always kind of done little things to increase my vert, but I think that was the biggest needle mover. So that's number one. Number two is hitting the plyometrics hard. A lot of people think that vertical jump is made in the gym or it's all genetics. I don't agree. I think it has a lot to do with, you look at these NBA players, some of the point guards that are dunking most impressively are like 6'3", 6'4", and they're 170, 180 pounds. Now, I'm 15% body fat, and I'm right around 200 pounds, and I'm 6'1", maybe 6'2". So, I think if I were to lose 20 pounds, 25 pounds, I think I'd be able to dunk pretty consistently, because, being heavy, it just puts a lot of stress on your joints. I mean, look at Zion Williamson. He can't seem to put it together. He's a very talented player. He just can't seem to stay on the court, and I think a lot of it has to do with the stress on he's 300 pounds, the stress on his joints, all the force he's putting in the ground. It's just too much. And relatively, you can be just as strong if you lose the weight. So let's not stay on that topic too long. Fat don't fly. But moving on to plyometrics, introducing plyos was a big needle mover as well, because it kind of taught me the stress shortening cycle. I've always been kind of a 1 foot jumper, and relied on the running start and all that. And once I started doing plyometrics, my 2 foot jump actually skyrocketed. And then once I started doing unilateral, doing one leg at a time, I really noticed big increases in my vertical, because my left leg has always been weaker. I had Osgood slaughters. I had shin splints on that leg. I had Achilles tendinopathy. I tore my ACL on that leg, so it's always kind of been not as strong, not as explosive as my right leg. So when I started hitting plyometrics hard on that side, I really seen a increase in my vertical, both 2 feet and off of 1. So really hit the plyometrics hard. Depth jumps, squat jumps, seated jumps, pogo jumps for your ankle and lower half of your leg. Those really made a big difference for me on my journey to getting big enough vertical in order to dunk. And I'll be making more videos on that in the summer. Just had blizzard here last night, so basketball videos won't be coming out for at least another month. The weather's been consistently above 32 for about a month, but at night it really freezes, and still snowing apparently. So we'll get to that. And along with the plyometrics is including sprinting in your training. Sprinting is pretty much the same thing as jumping. It's explosive movements off the ground, moving your moving out the ground as fast as you can. And I think those are really a big deal in moving needle in your vertical jump journey. I also ran sand hills up and down as fast as I can. Going down as fast as you can helps with top speed. And I never knew that until not too long ago, a couple months ago. Maybe a month ago, I learned that going down the sand hill was increasing my top end speed, and I never knew that. I just did it because it was fun. It's fun to go down hills fast. And then last tip, the third tip, is weight training for explosion. Now, a lot of people go to the weight room and they work out for hypertrophy. They do a lot of high level reps. They try to work to failure as much as they can. And those are all great, doing the 5x5s for strength, and that's cool. But if you want to weight train for vertical jump, you're going to have to lift heavy for strength, obviously build a little bit of a base. But I also lifted light and fast. Going down to like 50% of my 1 rep max and just going as fast as I can, controlling the knees as fast as I can. And using bands also kind of helps with that. I don't know, the resistance curve is a little bit different with bands. A good one I really like to do is I like to do is it called a hex bar or trap bar deadlift, but do really light and do jumps. Or you can just do it on the normal squat rack. Those are really great explosive workouts, and a lot of people tend to neglect that. And doing kettlebell hip thrusts, just doing triple extension, working triple extensions, power cleans. All those work great. Triple flexion is often neglected. Knees over toes guy, really famous guy on YouTube. Look him up if you haven't. He's got great content. He talks about triple flexion. A lot of people neglect that too, and that's how they get hurt. They don't have strong hamstrings. They don't have strong calves. They don't have strong knees. And a lot of stuff that Ben Patrick talks about on Knees Over Toes Guy helps you, build up your tibs, which takes pressure off your knees. Building up your feet, that takes the pressure off your shins, feet, and then everything works together. Building up your hip flexors. Those are all big for sprinting as well. Lengthening and strengthening is really a big deal. I don't necessarily think that for your vertical jump, it's not a huge needle mover to go full range. A lot of box squats are great too. Box squats to jump, which is another good one. But any of those, you put all these together, all these 3 tips together, you'll see gains in your vertical jump. There's no way you don't, in my opinion. It worked for me, and I think it'll work for you. And if you got value from this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is JB Scoons. Please subscribe so you get suckers.